I am here with one of my favorite people, and I am also here talking about one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things to attend, and I'm going to tell you a secret. Since I've known her, it's happened quarterly. Could it not happen again next time? Maybe. That's just how she rolls. She likes to keep us on our toes. But I am with Kimberly Crowe, and we are talking about Potapalooza. If you have not attended Potapalooza, oh my goodness, you are missing out. From a podcast host perspective, and I will introduce and let this beautiful lady next to me talk soon, but all of you know me. Talking is the thing I do. But I have to tell you what I love as a podcast host. As a podcast host, I get a number of things. I get all the great connections and collaborations with the key speakers, even though I have to check some of that out later. I follow up and have conversations and build real relationships and schedule one-on-ones and do the things I'm supposed to do. Then I have 30 other podcast hosts that I build relationships with, and they get on my show. And when it's appropriate, I get on their show. And during the event, I cut 10 to 12 live pieces of content that are amazing, valuable, and beautiful. I also am smart enough to cut testimonials. Don't you need some testimonials for your podcast, your program, your stuff going on? Yes, you do. I'm just going to tell you if you don't know the answer. The answer is yes. And I never walk away. So the last one that rolled, not just registered, but what I saw number wise, live virtual in the event when I was able to go to the main room, over 100 attendees. I think it was close to 120, and unbelievable. So that's not just what registered, that's who showed up with their body, clicked the Zoom, went in, fixed their hair, put their lip gloss on, all that jazz. And so, of course, I have my VA team appropriately and respectfully follow up with these people. So I get great collaboration partners, great content, and I've never walked away without new customers for one of our programs or one of the things we do, either for our VAs or our new task agents, new podcast guests that come on, new sales and marketing consultants. It's wonderful. So all of this wonderfulness started in the beautiful fun zone brains of Kimberly Crowe and Michelle. So, Kimberly, I think you should talk about Potapalooza a little since it's your baby and I've done all the talking.
You are amazing. Well, you are like our poster child for Potapalooza. Potapalooza is a one-day virtual event. If you are trying to get on stages, or if you have a podcast, or you're wondering about podcasts, whether you want to run your own or you want to get on guests, be a guest on some podcasts, Potapalooza is a great fun event for you. It's one day, and on the main stage, we have speakers coming in talking about all kinds of things, life hacks, and ways to build your business by speaking on other people's stages, whether they're summits or podcasts or real live in-person stages. We have people talking about how to build your business, how to create an ascension plan. Of course, this time we're going to dive deep into AI, which is a favorite of Jessica's. And we're going to talk about how you can make money from and grow your business by speaking on podcasts, whether you have your own or whether you're just guesting on podcasts. This time, we have over 30 podcasters that we are featuring on this event. So you're going to get to meet those podcasters and, of course, other podcasters that are in the room. As a general attendee, you get to watch the speakers on the main stage, interact, do workshopping and networking with folks, and then do actually implement while you're at the event. But the VIPs get something extra super special because they get to go into the podatorium, which is a separate Zoom room where each of our featured podcasters have their own private breakout room, and they're conducting interviews during the event, not just building relationships and booking interviews for some time in the future, but actually conducting interviews during the event. So as a VIP, you have a chance to pick which podcast would be a match for you. The podcasters are going to pick which guests are a match for them. And then when you match up, you get booked on their schedule, and you can, as a VIP, get on up to 5 podcasts in a single day by coming to Potapalooza as a VIP. It's super fun.
It is super fun, but I have a couple of really thoughtful, insightful comments to make on what you've just said. And if you're not giggling, you should be, because I
Totally
am
giggly.
at myself. Okay, but yesterday on the pre-party, Michelle said something really important that never really dawned on me. So if you look at the price point when you're coming in, even if you're getting it at the top of the margin because you weren't smart enough to get the
Early
early bird
bird.
specials, think about, look at that number, and then think and ask yourself how many, and I know some of the answers because my team does this on the regular. If you're reaching out in a directory or something, like we use Matchmaker for podcasts a
Yeah.
lot, and we pay for that, by the way, monthly. And I pay my VA team to then find the right podcast. So if you're looking to be on a show, think about how many podcast hosts would you have to approach. Some are free, but some are not. So how much would you have to pay for each show? Our show is normally $43, a collaboration fee to get on, and well worth everything we do. But how much you would have time you would have to spend, and how many pitches you would have to make to how many podcast hosts before you could get yourself booked, and you probably wouldn't be booked for 5 in one day, right? But how much time of yours would that add up to look at what your time is worth and look at the investment of 5 podcasts in a single day? Because I've had some people say to me, oh my gosh, I don't pay to be on podcasts at all. My little $43. And then, of course, signing up for Potapalooza, it's an investment in yourself. You're learning, you have education. When you do the VIP, yes, you miss some of the speakers, but you get all of those recordings, and you build the relationship with these really intelligent, smart, you know, their business is doing it. It's doing the things that you maybe want your business to be doing. And one of the other things you didn't mention, even if you just go for general motion, you'll kick yourself at the end and go, oh my gosh, the next time I totally have to get VIP. That's all right. Just come and check it out. If you have to be a toe dipper, some people got to be a toe dipper. But what she didn't mention is, she did say you could do workshops and build things as you go, but Kimberly failed to mention, I'm talking about her like she's not here. She failed to mention that you're building things like the structure of your talk to
Yeah.
include storytelling, so that is more engaging, so that it leads to an actual sale and not crickets at the end of a talk when people are waiting or not waiting for you at the back table at the back of the room. It also helps build your tools, like your speaker one sheet and your free gift, and how are you leveraging the time you're spending on
Yeah.
these podcasts to build your list and grow a community and build relationships. And let's face it, we all want friends, but we need some revenue too, right? And building collaboration partners is just as important. You're looking at my beautiful affiliate link live on the screen here, as we're live on LinkedIn and several other platforms. And I've already made money on this event. The event's tomorrow, and I started making money, probably the last one was February. And so I started promoting probably the end of February, beginning of March. My team did. And we started making money right away. So how about attend an event you can get an affiliate link for? That's one of the highest paid out affiliate programs that I've been involved in. I make a lot of money from Potapalooza just by sharing it with the community. And I always let people know, hey, this is an affiliate link, and I get a little love from the amazing hosts if you choose to sign up for this event. So there's something else you can do there. And another way to offset and think reasonably about the investment that you're making in yourself when you attend these. So I always say, I very rarely mark an entire day off because I've got a lot of things going on. Plus, I like to kayak paint, so I've got a bazillion children, if you know anything about me. And I just don't want to spend an entire day on something, but I cannot pull myself, no matter what level of exhaustion I'm feeling by the end of the night, away, because the event itself is just energizing and thrilling. But the very, very end, the after party of gratitude and love actually inspired me to do my money gratitude event. It was a piece of how I felt. Gratitude is such a high level energy, love, gratitude, and joy. And when you infuse it into anything, it uplevels it in a way that nothing else can. And Potapalooza was the inspiration for me for that gratitude space, because I love it. And I'll never forget. And I felt a little guilty. I even messaged Kimberly later on Facebook. I apologize. I'm so sorry, because one of the events was like a Just Love Fest. One of the after parties was and Jessica this. You know what? It was just humbling and wonderful. Isn't it great to get to be in a community, a room that people can give and receive? You need to be able to receive it, because that'll block your money if you can't receive compliments, and you can't receive love, and you can't receive that as much as you give it. Then you don't have that full flowing affinity of give and take, and love and receive in your life. And
Yeah.
uh, Potapalooza has that in our little after show. So you want to stay and squeeze every minute out of this event, worth every second, Kimberly.
I agree so much. And yeah, I mean, people love you because you're telling people about it. And then you're there at the event and people are like, I love Jessica. I'm here because of this. And it's a great event to be able to share, but it's a great event to be able to attend. And it's wonderful when you can get the right kinds of people into the community and get into the community that you know you belong in, that you know it's like
Mhm.
family. These are people that are obviously potential customers, but also potential relationships, potential
Mhm.
joint venture partners, other people that you want to hang around, people that
Mhm.
have podcasts that you want to be on. And whether you land on their podcast during Potapalooza, or if you just connect with them during Potapalooza and land on it later, like so many of our folks do, it's an
Mhm.
incredible event with so much energy behind it. And we can't do it every month. Somebody asked, do you do this every month? And I was like, no, we do it a couple of times a year because it's so much and so involved.
Mhm.
Part of the matching process is just crazy because we have to find the schedules of the podcasters and then find the schedules of
Mhm.
the attendees and like work them in and make sure that they match up and make sure that you like he and he like you and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And by the time it's all said and done, it's a lot of manual work that works on formulas and all kinds of stuff. But we want to be sure that everybody there has a really good time. And some people will ask, like, what do you mean by up to 5 podcasts? What does that mean? Like, am I
Mhm.
guaranteed one? Am I guaranteed five? How does that work? So I will tell you what our experience is, and I will tell you what our statistics are. But Jessica, do you want to deal? Do you want to address that at all?
Well, I think that if you only want one is how I think you're going to only end up with one. I
Yeah.
mean, there really is so much put into this, and I know the only guarantee, because I don't think there's any refunds. But if you can't make the event, you can transfer the ticket, but you could also let, if there was some emergency, let Kimberly and them know, and they'll get you on their podcast, Kimberly and Michelle. And you know what? I've already told them to, if they need a lifeline, if they needed something extra, if someone didn't get something they wanted as far as the number of podcasts and they hadn't already been on my show, I'd let them be on my show after. And I don't think there's probably a podcast host that wouldn't offer that to Kimberly and Michelle. We're so cared for. We feel so well featured and so well loved as collaboration partners with them in this event, truly, that I mean, I wouldn't speak for anyone else, but I would be surprised if there wasn't a very strong number, if not 100%, that wouldn't say, "Hey, send them my way. I'll run them on my show after." Even if they had a charge, I would waive the fee for a Potapalooza person that didn't, get with me and needed some special love because they didn't get what they were feel like they were paying for. I don't think anyone's going to walk away not feeling like they got every penny's worth. Now you have to do all the tasks and all the things and all the follow up. And build all those relationships and make the connections in the right places, like either email or LinkedIn or wherever, um, to make this a profitable event for you. We always actions need to be taken. We read a lot of great books, we can attend a lot of great events, but if we don't take action upon them, then they were just entertainment for the moment. This is much more than entertainment, although it is entertaining and fun.
I have to definitely agree with that. So yes, if you want just one podcast, you can actually select the total number of
Mhm.
podcasts as the max that you would like. And we do
Mhm.
our level best to match you up. If you only select one podcast that you want to be on, and then you want 5 podcasts, we can't make that happen for you. So, my
Mhm.
advice to you, if you're going to be on it, is be open to being on as many podcasts as are interesting to you. And then, actually, we do have some great stories about ones that were kind of like blind dates, where somebody was
Mhm.
like, "I'm not sure this is a match, and I'm not sure she's a match," and then they get on together and they have the most incredible conversation that is
Mhm.
breakthrough amazing. So we do our level best to match you up with the ones that you want, and to up
Mhm.
to the maximum that you would like. And you do have the ability to limit that yourself. Of course, if you don't fill out your forms and you don't make your selections, and we're
Mhm.
chasing you, we've sent 6, 7 emails out sometimes to people like, we really need you to fill out your forms so we can get you on the podcast. And as long as you're doing, as long as you're making your selections and doing everything, then we are really good at it. It turns out that it is 97+% of people that
Mhm.
get within one of their maximum desired podcasts,
Mhm.
and most of our people want 5. And on
Mhm.
most of the Potapaloozas, we have had people be able to get all 5.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that you want to do. You want to come play in. We do not have very many disappointed campers when they come. And if they are, it's usually because something happened along the way where they didn't fill
Mhm.
something out or something. But we do our best to make sure that everybody has a wonderful time. And if you go to the website, you can see that everybody's just having a fantastic time, enjoying themselves, and getting on a ton of podcasts. So looking forward to seeing everybody there, including Jessica. If you want to get on her show, there is normally a charge just to get on her show
Yeah.
alone. But
Mhm.
if you upgrade to VIP, then she does waive that particular her podcast fee for
Mhm.
you. So you're going to end up saving yourself some money that way as well.
Mhm.
Getting on Jessica's podcast is absolutely worth the price of admission. She is an incredible interviewer. I've had a chance to be on it, and it is definitely a profitable enterprise to be able to get on Jessica's podcast, get interviewed by her, because she does such a great job of advertising and getting the word out and getting promotional materials for you so you can get the word out. It's just an incredible experience working with a pro like Jessica.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really love hearing the stories from everyone all the world. So many countries, even the country of Georgia. I have a guest from that country that has been on my podcast. Like, so many countries. It's been, so much fun to hear all of and different people's passions and interests. And I think that's what the world of podcasts bring us, right? So many topics, so many talents, so many humans that make up the fabric of our beautiful world. So pretty cool. And I've been a very good podcast host because I've already twice checked my select your guest to see if the new VIPs have been
There
added,
are. We actually
so
have new
that I
VIPs at the
could
bottom. I don't
say
know if you've got them all.
yes to everyone, because I say almost yes to almost everyone. It's very difficult for me sometimes, even if it's the topic's a little heavier than I feel like our show is appropriate for. I'm always like, oh, but just those blind dates, you just never know who you're going to get. And so it's hard for me to say no to almost everyone. I do stay away from political topics and things like that, but just not good for my audience, but it's good for somebody else's. So that's
Yeah,
the
definitely.
thing about having 30 different podcast hosts available to you. Thank you for spending this time with me, Kimberly. And closing, is there anything else that we should cover? I would like to say, if you haven't taken a minute to check out Kimberly Crowe's TED Talk on YouTube, please subscribe, like, and comment to that. And doing all those three things of magical love, really helps someone else. And if after you watched it, it inspired you, you could even share it on one of your platforms. What a nice gift and to give someone who I know just deserves a whole bouquet of flowers at any given time. Thank you for being with me to promote tomorrow's amazing, fun, and for me, a little crazy day because I
Right?
have to change all my outfits and necklaces. I have to get all my clothes and wardrobe organized tonight so that I'll be ready to go for all of the shows I need to cut.
Yeah. I think the only last thing to say is, a lot of people think, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not sure I should be. I'm not ready to speak. And I just
Mhm.
want to say that we've all been speaking about the same time since we were two or three. And it's just a matter of getting comfortable, having a conversation with another person. And it's really one of the softest, warmest, most loving environments that you can get in on is Potapalooza.
Mhm.
None of our podcasters are there to trip you up or sabotage you. They're all there to help you look amazing, which you already
Mhm.
are, talking about a subject that you love. So if you're in doubt, definitely come and check it out. We do sell out our VIP tickets. So if you're
Mhm.
thinking that maybe you want to try it out, it will be one of the best experiences you can have. We highly encourage you to upgrade to VIP if that's on your heart. If you're waffling, I would encourage you to say yes to yourself today. It is an amazing opportunity. The link that is in the chat is Jessica's affiliate link. So she'll get a little bit of love when you purchase through her link. And we couldn't be happier with Jessica's promotion of this event. We love having her there, and she just does an amazing job all the way around.
Thank you so much. And thank you all out there listening. You could be our hero and maybe someone else's too if you give us a little love, comments, and most importantly, share this out to your community if you think anyone out there you know might want to be featured on a podcast. Anyone, any authors, speakers, coaches, online course developers, anyone like that at all? A realtor out there, everyone. I believe I have this theory before we close, Kimberly, is everyone is at least 5 realtors. Yeah, there isn't a realtor out there who doesn't need to stand apart in their marketing. A lot of them now have written amazing books on the process. So, someone that wants to be featured on somebody's show. So we hope to see you there. Yeah.
Sounds great. Thanks,
All
Jessica.
right. Till next time, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.